The effect of adding a sales tax on junk food and sugar-sweetened beverages and obesity. Obesity is an epidemic that is taking over America. It is causing serious health benefits that are starting to affect children and the younger generations. A simple tax on food and drinks that are correlated to obesity can have a substantial effect on obesity and the problems it is causing today. Obesity, by definition, is a serious chronic disease that can have a negative impact on many systems within a body. People who are overweight or obese have a much greater risk of developing heart disease, type 2 diabetes, high blood pressure, and bone and joint disease. Sleep apnea and respiratory problems are another effect of obesity. Sleep apnea causes people to stop breathing for short periods of time. It is also known to cause heavy snoring. This is prevalent in obese individuals due to the fact that if you are obese, you have extra weight on top of your chest that then squeezes and applies pressure to the lungs. Cancer is another effect of obesity on both men and women. The type of cancer that is at risk to women are breast cancer, colon cancer, gallbladder, and uterus cancer. Men who are overweight have a higher risk of colon cancer and prostate cancer. The prevalence of obesity is very high these days, yet the cause is very complex. There are many factors that can cause individuals to become obese. Factors such as lifestyle, genetics, how your body uses energy, and one's own metabolism. According to Stanford Healthcare, approximately 35% of women and 31% of men are overweight. 15% of children between the ages of 6 and 19 are overweight as well. Each year, obesity costs over $150 billion and causes an estimated 300,000 premature deaths. These numbers are appalling, and I believe something as simple as a tax on obese-causing foods will help individuals to make healthier choices and in turn live longer, fuller lives. We are hoping that by taxing junk food and sugar-sweetened beverages, it will lead consumers to make healthier choices, or in turn will make manufacturers produce a healthier alternative of the food and drink. Either way, the outcome would be greatly beneficial and helpful to the epidemic of obesity. There are two ways that we could go about taxing food. We can either tax specific nutrients, or we can tax predefined food and beverage categories. Both have their pros and cons. Taxing specific nutrients means taking foods that carry certain ingredients. Some sources of energy have little to no nutritional value and have been linked to the prevalence of global overweight and obesity. One way to do this would be to tax foods based on their makeup, so if they are made up of more than 30% fat or 40% sugar, then they will be taxed. Also, more specific ingredient tax, like taxing foods that contain high fructose corn syrup, could encourage manufacturers to make new, healthier options of these foods. Another way to go about taxing would be to tax snack foods. By taxing a whole group of foods, it will help to overcome any struggles that come from taxing only certain ingredients. This type of tax would work a little better because the majority of increase in caloric intake happened from an increase in snack consumption. However, this tax by itself would not be enough to completely fix the obesity epidemic. According to NCBI, a 20% tax on potato chips would result in an 830 calorie reduction per capita. The next possible way that we could tax foods would be to tax sugar-sweetened beverages. Sweetened beverages is one of the main factors to the rise of obesity in America. Calories from sweetened drinks have rose 30% the past decade alone. A SSB tax study have found that a decrease in just 1/4 of these calories obtained from SSB would lead to a reduction of 8,000 calories per capita. This equals to just about over 2 pounds per year from the average individual. A 55 tax rate would decrease the proportion of overweight and obese individuals by 0.7%. Not everyone is for taxing foods for the purpose of controlling the obesity epidemic. Some are against the fact of saying it's not ethical since food is a basic need for humans. I believe that yes, you do need food to survive, but the real food you need to survive are healthier options. In conclusion, I believe that a simple tax on junk food and sugar-sweetened beverages would have a great impact on the obesity epidemic that is happening today. By taxing these items, we give the consumer a choice to make a healthier option. We also then end up providing the manufacturer the option to then create a healthier alternative that would then keep their product from being taxed. Both options then end with the consumer making a healthier choice, which will then, in turn, yield a decrease in the percent of obese individuals in America.